September 2025, American talk show host Bill Maher said this.
If you don't know what's going on in Nigeria, your media sources suck. You are in a bubble. And again, I'm not a Christian, but they are systematically killing the Christians in Nigeria. They've killed over 100,000 since 2009. They've burned 18,000 churches. This is so much more. These are the Islamists, Boko Haram. This is so much more of a genocide attempt than what is going on in Gaza. They are literally attempting to wipe out the Christian population of an entire country. Why are the kids protesting this?
In February 2025, during a congressional hearing, U.S. Congressman Scott Perry said this.
Post-2021, so this is last year, 2024, we spent $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS-Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding.
Also during a U.S. Senate Foreign Relations Committee hearing in 2024, Senator Todd Young said this.
How can we help foster the public-private partnerships, bringing American capital and expertise and standards to Africa so that we can keep exploiting, so that we can exploring where we can get these minerals.
Northern Nigeria is in the headlines for terrorism, banditry, and seemingly endless violence. We're told the story is about religion. But what if we're missing the real plot? What if the true story is about something far more tangible? Something buried deep beneath the earth? This is northern Nigeria, and it's sitting on a treasure trove. A treasure trove of gold, lithium, tin, gemstones, and even uranium. Northern Nigeria, like most regions of the Sahel, looks empty, but it is one of the most resource-rich regions in Africa. The conflict in northern Nigeria isn't really about religion, but instead it is about natural resources. The conflicts, clashes, and banditry are part of a destabilization process being carried out by both internal and external sources in order to exploit the resources in the region. Religion is merely a convenient excuse being used to deflect from the real issue, which is the theft of northern Nigeria's resources. To understand this, we need to look at the epicenter of the recent crisis, Zamfara State in northwestern Nigeria, where in the late 2000s, massive gold deposits were discovered here. Almost overnight, a chaotic, informal gold rush began. This created two things: immense, untraceable wealth and violent competition to control it. Local bandits, who started with cattle rustling, quickly realized gold was far more lucrative. They began attacking villages and mining sites to seize control. The gold they illegally mine provides the cash to buy more weapons, pay more fighters, and fund more attacks. It's a self-financing war. This isn't a new strategy. It is a playbook used all across the Sahel region of Africa, from Mali to Sudan. Terrorist groups in Mali and Niger Republic, like the West African ISIS group, fund their operations through the illegal gold trade. They tax miners, control smuggling routes, and use the proceeds to buy weapons and sustain their insurgencies. The instability in northern Nigeria creates a perfect environment for this same model to flourish. The groups like Boko Haram might have different names, but their business model is the same. Lithium used in batteries is now being commercially mined in north-central Nigeria. Mining of tin and columbite has a long, bloody history on the plateau, also in north-central Nigeria. Untapped uranium deposits also lie in northeastern Nigeria. Every one of these resources represents a potential flashpoint. Competition over fertile land and water between farmers and herders, a resource conflict in its own right, gets wrapped up in this wider fight for economic survival and dominance. Groups like Boko Haram have been using religious rhetoric since their emergence in 2009. They used religion as a powerful tool for recruitment, granting disenfranchised youth a sense of purpose, and for justifying their actions. But their actions showed that they weren't fighting for religious reasons. They often attack other Muslims. They attack Christians. They attack soldiers. They kill everyone and anyone who gets in their way, including women and children. If this was purely a religious war, their targets would be different. Instead, their actions reveal a core objective, which is to destabilize the government, create lawless zones, and control territory and the resources within it. Religion is the banner. Resources are the prize. The conflicts tearing northern Nigeria apart are not about religion. They are instead a classic, brutal resource war, amplified by external foreign pressures where external forces use local actors to destabilize the region in order to exploit and extract resources. The insecurity in northern Nigeria is part of the global resource smuggling network. There is a global demand for gold, lithium, and other minerals which creates a demand for conflict minerals. The insecurity is also fueled by internal failures. There is poverty in the land, extreme corruption, and a lack of governance which leaves a vacuum for criminals to fill. The line between a conflict zone and a global market is thinner than we think. The violence in northern Nigeria isn't a religious one, instead it is a geopolitical and economic one. And the statements provided by U.S. Congressman Scott Perry and U.S. Senator Todd Young is confirmation that the insecurity in northern Nigeria have connections leading all the way back to the White House.